just an amazing sequence. An amazing sequence to watch, and then an amazing sequence to talk about how it was made. Yeah. Except you wouldn't know how it was made because the director never, ever, ever allowed any visual effects articles to be written about this film, which, you know, we have this issue sometimes with in our industry of directors and film studios not allowing coverage and saying, you know, it was all practical and all that sort of thing. This film was nominated for the Best Visual Effects Oscar.
Welcome to the VFX Notes Podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by Action VFX.
VFX artists, you're getting up to 80% off. Action VFX is turning 10 years old and we want to celebrate with those who helped build up our library. Up to 80% off bundles, 40% off collections, subscription plans, credit packs, 20% off academy courses. Over 12,000 assets to choose from. Head on over to actionvfx.com.
And now on to the show.
Hugo has run away. Oh no, here he is. Hi everyone, my name's Ian Fales. I'm from Befores and Afters. Thank you for coming to this last session in my Then and Now track, which is going to be a super fun session, a live VFX Notes podcast with me and Hugo Guerra. Hi Hugo.
Hi Ian.
If you don't know, we host the VFX Notes podcast on YouTube. It's on Hugo's Desk channel, and we do that with me in Melbourne and Hugo in London. Sometimes we're together in his bunker, and sometimes we're together here at FMX. Pretty exciting to be here, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. It's the second time we're doing it live. You know, 2 years ago we did it with the wonderful Michael Fink and upstairs on the big screen in big room. It was fantastic. Yeah, we love to do it live, and we can't wait to be, I guess, heckled by all of you. By the best VFX shots. Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about the best visual effects shot in history. It is our perspective of the best visual effects shot, so we may well piss you off.
I'm sure you will.
But what we're going to do is present that each in turn. During our presentation, there's going to be some really fun giveaways. I'm giving away an ILM 50th anniversary book and also a bunch of 5 magazines, Befores and Afters magazines. And Hugo is giving away...
Yeah, I'm giving away my Nook course as well to one of you.
Yeah. Right. When the giveaway sign comes up, I'm going to get my lovely assistant Dylan Sisson to pull a number out of the hat or the black bag, and that will be declared the winner, and then come up to us afterwards to claim your prize. Awesome. Hugo, we should start by asking them, right?
Yeah.
Can I just get anyone who wants to shout out what they think is their best visual effects shot? So not film necessarily, but actual shot in history. Does anyone want to shout out one right now? Go ahead. No, you can just shout it.
Genesis sequence from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, whoops. No, that's on our list.
Oh, yes, right.
Another one.
T-Rex banner shot and Joseph Clark.
Oh, yes.
It's a good one,
It's a good one. Was there another one? Too shy. Okay, that's okay. Sorry? Oh, okay.
Do something with animation because these were all digital.
Yes.
I would say King Kong coming through the big doors.
Oh,
Cool. That's cool. That's good. Yeah. Okay.
That's a magic shot. I
Okay.
love that one. All right. Well, we're going to end up with about a list of 12. And then once we've presented ours, you will actually have a chance to vote of which of those 12 is the best visual effects shot. We're going to have a QR code, so get your phones ready later on. Should we just get started, Hugo?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Next slide.
Yeah? Okay. Should we watch it?
We should watch it.
Okay.
That is, of course, from the Robert Zemeckis film Contact with visual effects by Sony Pictures Imageworks. That's my number 3. I think I fell in love with that shot, Hugo, in 1997 on the big screen, and I've watched it possibly 10 billion times since on YouTube. And I probably watched it the first 5 billion trying to work out how it's actually done. And, you know, I think that's just the kind of invisible effect shot that it is. It's not obvious. It's super invisible, super seamless. I'm sure you like that shot as well.
Oh yeah, I love it. And the funny thing is, it's the fact that you're saying about the invisible thing. Sometimes I talk with people that are not on this business, and I talk about, oh, have you seen this film? And then I discuss a bit the film, and I say, oh, what about that VFX shot? You know, amazing shot with the mirror. And they're just like, what do you mean? Like, what shot? Like, what are you talking about? They don't even know. I don't think most people even notice that that's a shot. Yeah. Or that's even a VFX shot altogether, you know.
And the film is full of them, full of seamless transitions and sort of, so Jodie Foster's character might be in one place and suddenly she's in another. Like, it's really that kind of film. Robert Zemeckis had done Forrest Gump and really used some incredible invisible effects there, and with ILM, and then, you know, stayed with his visual effects supervisor, Ken Ralston, who was then at Imageworks. I think it's worth reading something I received from the compositing soup on it called Sheena Dougal about how that shot was done. And these befores and afters up there will help you understand. So 3 plates made up the final shot. The first plate, the A plate, was of Ellie, the young girl, running, as filmed by a Steadicam operator running backwards, joined by a focus puller too, who had to be removed from the photography by Imageworks. The second plate, the B plate, was of the bathroom cabinet and Ellie running for the knob and opening the door. Instead of a mirror on the cabinet, a blue screen section was in place, which you can see. The third plate, C plate, that was shot was the reflection of the bathroom containing the photograph. So, like, it seems complicated, right? The A plate of Ellie running continues until she reaches out for the bathroom cabinet. Imageworks tracked the A plate into the B plate of the blue screen mirror at the door and the door of the B plate opens. Here it was imperative that the fingers in the B plate reflection lined up with Ellie's hand in the A plate. Indeed, the fingers were reconstructed in 2D to properly align. Finally, the C plate, the bathroom reflection, was then added to the cabinet door as it swung back closed. Imageworks also added a beveled edge and some schmutz on the mirror to make it look even more convincing. I mean, how cool is that? How cool is that?
I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm so confused now.
This is why I'm not a visual effects supervisor.
It's still to this day, I'm like, how the hell was it even done? I mean, I always get perplexed by mirror shots. Like, mirror shots are something that you always kind of, and I know, we have some really advanced digital tools to do it now, but even though it's still hard as hell because you have to like really do a lot of reconstruction. It's really tough as a composer to look at that, and especially at when it came out. Like, I don't even know how they managed to pull it off.
Yeah, all done on flame, right? This is the days of flame compositing being the main thing that some of those studios were using. Here's an interesting extra bit of trivia. This shot is designed to, Ellie sees her dad collapsed on the floor and has actually died. They were actually going to do that as a bullet time shot in 1997, so pre-Matrix. It was going to be the father falling, and he had been eating popcorn, and so the popcorn would be in the air around him, and she would come into the room and have seen this, with the camera going around like that. And I don't know why they didn't do that. Wow. It might have been too stylized for this type of film. That would have been cool, right? I had no idea
that was, because that would have changed the whole thing, because it would have been the first time we would have seen a bullet time shot.
On film.
I know commercials had a bunch of them already for a while, but they were a bit more, loose and more ragged. They were a bit more, not as polished as The Matrix, but yeah, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, that's my number 3. Let's go to your number 3.
Okay. Are you all ready? Are you all ready for my number 3? Okay. Let's go for it. Okay. So I really love your shot, but for me, the number 3 has to be I mean, who here doesn't love cats? Come on, tell me. Do you love cats? I'm so sorry if any of you worked on cats. I didn't mean to make a joke out of it. No, that's a joke. It's not that shot. It's this shot. So let's look at the shot. Well, it's not really a shot. Sorry, I bend the rules a little bit. It's
Hugo.
a sequence, I guess. But it could be shot sequence, I guess. Yeah, so let's have a look at it. Now, I don't really have a breakdown of that sequence specifically, so I'll just leave the lovely breakdown from DNEG rolling on the background because I think the entire film could be selected as a single shot for me, in my view. I think the work that DNEG and Milk did on this movie is just outstanding, and I was blown away by it at the time. I was, you know, as you know, I was...
Just in case anyone doesn't know the film, what is it?
Oh, it's Ex Machina. So sorry about that. I got carried away there. But yeah, as you know, this film is really special for me because at the time I was working in London at the Mill, and when this film came out, I mean, it just changed everything. It made an invisible visual effects to another level, and not to mention the entire movie is a VFX, like the whole movie. I was blown away, and just by the sheer quality of the rotoscoping, the tracking, and the painting, and the seamlessness of it. You know, I just a few weeks ago I watched it in 4K on the projector, and you still don't see anything. It's just completely invisible. It's seamless.
It's an interesting choice as number 3, and I don't mean that in a negative way, because some people, and this film actually won the Oscar for Best Visual Effects that year, of course some people would say, oh, but it's all work that we know how to do. It's not necessarily new. But the meticulousness of it and the way it fits into the story, and obviously Alicia Vikander's performance is what elevates that visual effects work by DNEG, right?
Yeah, and that's why I chose it, because I think this film, it's one of those examples where, well, first of all, without VFX, this film didn't exist. It couldn't be done. I mean, you could try prosthetic, but then you would never have invisible parts. You would never have see-through sections, and you would never really, I don't think you truly believe that she would be a robot or a cyborg, but the story is so linked to this VFX shot, and the story is, I don't think it's not the first time that this happened, of course, but I think for me, I felt like it was the first time that I felt like this character existed, and I was watching a movie and I completely forgot that I was watching visual effects. Like I don't think that is rare. You sometimes get taken out because of VFX, and in this situation, that didn't happen.
Yeah, it's a stunning film, and I think well deserved by Andrew Whitehurst and the DNEG team and others of the studios worked on it as well. But I wanted more of it, actually, you know. But we ended up getting a lot of big Marvel films. So
okay, so now we have the first giveaway. So let's go for it.
Giveaway number 1 is a bunch of befores and afters magazines. You'll get 5 of them. And Dylan, could you please pull out the first number? Thank you so much. Number 9. Hey, front row. Awesome.
Well done.
You could, thank you. Yeah, you could hand that number to that gentleman. Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot now. What is your favorite VFX shot? Come on, 5 seconds. What's your favorite one?
I feel like probably the entirety of the effects on the first Transformers movie, because it just was really impactful to me as a kid as well.
That's a good choice,
Shaping my love for
choice.
VFX, and the way that they managed to have them interact with these massive surreal machines at a time where I don't know how they rendered all that. I think that's something that just stuck with me quite well.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, me too. Like, especially what you said, how the hell did they do it at the time? Because it's a really old movie now. And it's incredible, the resolution and the sheer quality of the CG. It's just like mind-blowing. Yeah.
Why didn't you put it on your list, Hugo? Thank you so much.
Because the film is not very good.
Please come
It's
up
not
to us afterwards to get your prize. Yeah.
I tried to put good movies on my list. That's what I was trying to do. Sorry. Okay. Let's move on to your next.
Okay, this is my number 2.
We watch it?
Let's watch it. Okay, The Matrix, the subway bullet time shot. Now, I think this is where we're going to get into trouble because everyone talks about the rooftop shot in The Matrix, which is spectacular, right? Not the first time we see bullet time, but the amazing shot with Keanu Reeves. But I just think this shot with Agent Smith and Neo fits perfectly into the story. They're having a battle. It's pretty full on in terms of a physical fight already in the subway. And then they go into flow state, right? I just think it's one of the most well incorporated pieces of visual effects in cinema history. And here's a few behind the scenes up there. Obviously, John Gator and the team at Mannix and others developed basically bullet time for film. Bullet time and that approach to freeze frame had already been developed by a couple of other studios and done by Bouffe as well in France. But here they made it work for filmmaking, and they actually called it the Flow-Mo rig, which I think is something people forget, that's what it was called. It's incredible that it's shot on film, film in individual SLR cameras. What else, Hugo? I mean, this sequence I'm sure you loved as well.
I do. I love it as well. And I must say, I was like 21 or 20 or 21 when the film came out, and I was obsessed by the movie. And I should probably not say this, but at the time, when I rented the movie and then made a copy of the movie from VCR to VCR.
What?
Yes, I did it. But because I really wanted a high quality copy of it, I copied it from VHS to an i8 deck VCR. So I recorded it in higher quality. And I used to watch these sequences all the time. I would just obsess on them and watch them almost frame by frame, trying to work out how the hell they made these shots. I think people forget how impactful these shots were.
Yeah, and
this shot alone probably is responsible for so many of us coming into the industry just because of the existence of this shot.
I agree. And what also fascinates me about bullet time is that it was a bunch of technologies and innovations coming together. So it wasn't just the bullet time Flow-Mo rig. They needed to have virtual backgrounds, and it was only just before Matrix that a team at UC Berkeley had basically used photogrammetry techniques, which weren't new, to allow people to take just a few photos for creating photogrammetric images and then creating these CG backgrounds, which of course we now do all the time. The other thing was the individual stills that make up the imagery weren't that cohesive. And so a lot of it involved optical flow technology to make it look cohesive, a lot of digital paint work, which they always acknowledge. And so all these things kind of coming together helped make that dynamic shot. And there's a bunch of fun ones in the film.
And just the stabilization alone, because if you look at the original plates, when you see the behind the scenes, which you can see that on the beginning of that loop there, it's really shaky because each camera rotates a little bit and moves a little bit because it's all 35 mil, and so the frames do a bit like they shake a lot, and they had to frame by frame stabilize every single frame. It's a very easy thing to do these days, but it wasn't back then, really. This is 98. They would have been doing this in 98. The film came out in 98, but they would have been doing it in 98.
That's right, and filmed in Sydney, which was my hometown at the time, and I think I also chose this as my number 2 shot because I have a really close affinity for The Matrix. I am obsessed with this film Speed with Keanu in it, and I heard that he was in Sydney filming this film The Matrix, And I went up to Sydney in 1998 and they were filming the end sequence of The Matrix in, like, it's an American street. He's in a phone booth. He flies up. I'm sure everyone knows. They were filming that with no barriers. Like, the crowd wasn't held back. We could be like 5 meters from Keanu. I went up there, 1998. I didn't take a camera.
Oh, man.
Like, what? Why did I even go? And smartphones were not a
We
thing.
didn't took photos back then. I never took a camera for anything. I never used to take photos.
That's true. I guess it was before digital cameras in a way.
We didn't. Like, which just sounds silly now, I know. But, we're old men,
Yeah.
so.
All right. Here we go with your number 2 film.
Okay, so here's my number 2, and I'll explain in a second. Let's just watch it.
Yeah. I can hear you breathing.
Yeah, so Fight Club. I mean, Fight Club is a really important movie, of course, because it's an extraordinary movie. Remember what I said, I only picked very good movies. I'm trying my best. So Fight Club, I picked this shot because it's a bit of a segue what you were saying about photogrammetry and The Matrix, because this is even before The Matrix. And I think the cool thing about Fight Club is that at this time, photogrammetry was something very novel. It was something very new. I know the Fight Club is not the first film that had photogrammetry, but photogrammetry was a technique that really advanced quite rapidly and became the premium way of doing a photorealistic sequence. And the film is filled with them. You have, of course, the kitchen sequence. Of course, you have the galaxy of trash. You have flying down to the parking lot with the car. I was just blown away by it at the time because, I was already kind of looking into, at this time, I was already doing some compositing in After Effects. And then a few years later, Nuke showed up and projection systems became a thing. And then we started experimenting more and more, especially with projection systems. And this, I don't know, it just made a huge mark on me because of just the fact we could. And I think a few years later, Panic Room also really helped me even cement more that the photogrammetry techniques that at the time it was Buff that was developing that.
Yeah, and Buff had really used them on television commercials and in a very famous Gap commercial and Rolling Stone music video. And I think Fincher and also his visual effects supervisor here thought, see, Hugo, I don't think they were obviously going for photorealism in those sequences. They're stylized sequences, but the camera needed to do crazy shit, right? And you would have had to model that completely in CG, doable, but then wouldn't have necessarily had the realism that they did want to have. The way the camera moves is a stylized move. Yeah. And it was perfect for this sequence.
But I love these type of shots because they are very fake. They're not physically accurate at all. But it doesn't really matter because it conveys this feeling that the condo exploded. You know exactly why it exploded. But you're showing it in the middle of this voiceover that he's explaining the situation. It really fits the scene. And I was already very enamored with photogrammetry and also baked lighting and baked rendering because of video games. Because in video games, this is very common. Because to save processing power in real-time engines, a lot of times you wouldn't be rendering with real lighting or real GI. You would just bake the stuff and then project it back into geometry. Sometimes the geometry would not completely match, but it didn't matter because from a certain angle, it looked just fine. And a lot of the games that started coming in the early 2000s all the way to 2010 really took advantage of this to a point that at the time you would look at some video games and you would be blown away. How are they even running on these toasters, which were really bad computers and bad consoles that were at the time? It was because of baked lighting and photogrammetry techniques and really using photos, but again, not physically accurate at all. But I have a thing for non-physically accurate things. I think it's a great hack. Because this is what this is. It's a hack.
Yeah. Love it. All right. We're already up to giveaway number 2. can we get my trusty assistant again, Dylan? And what's the prize this time, Hugo?
It's my nuke compositing course.
Okay, thank you, Dylan. Please pull a number. Drum roll.
What if it's Dylan now?
I wish it was. 21. Who? Awesome. Thank you. Please come up to Hugo afterwards.
Yeah, I'll give you... You're not my student already, are you? Okay, great. I'm going to put you on the spot now. What is your favorite VFX shot?
I was thinking about the shot in the Wanted with the keyboard.
Oh!
And if I wanted, there's the scene with the keyboard where it's punching the face and then the letters start to come up.
That's an amazing...
I love that shot. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good pick. Thanks so much. But yeah, come over at the end and I'll give you my card and my email and we can talk later.
All right, here we go with my number one best visual effects shot in history.
Should we watch it?
Let's watch it. Okay, we'll move on, because otherwise we'll be here all day. This is clearly from The Revenant, and that is Leonardo getting mauled by a bear. I saw this film at a press screening in Sydney when it came out, and I put my hands over my eyes for this whole sequence, and I'm not joking, for the first time I saw it. I then bought a ticket for the weekend screening of the film and went in for this sequence and then left the cinema because I needed to know how it was made. I needed to watch it in order to talk to ILM about it. That's who ultimately did the visual effects for this sequence. And I mean, it's a one-er. It's full of incredible stunt work. It's full of ridiculously amazing CG animation. And then really some of my favorite stuff behind it is just the extra dirt, grime, the wounds, and just all that other stuff that ILM had to solve for this to be a one-er. And, you know, they're stitching plates together. It's gruesome. It's hard to watch. It's seamless. You know, one-ers are a bit of a thing at the moment. I feel like some of these big films we watch, they do a one-er, and some of them are awesome, and then some of them feel like, why did you do a one-er? This is a reason to do a one-er, don't you think?
Usually it's a visual effects artist. Why are you doing a one-er? Why? Yes. I don't know, man. I've never seen the movie. So, I have never seen this movie, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Why do I do this podcast with you, Hugo?
I still don't know.
I'm
sorry.
If we jump to the behind the scenes scene there, I mean, that is how they shot some of the stunt photography with a man in a blue screen bear suit. You know, and we know that they do this. Either someone wears a grey suit or they have a buck or a stuffy or something like that. I think it's really fun that they had this on set, along with cables to literally pull DiCaprio forward, backwards, whatnot. Then you've got to paint out the cables, paint out the blue screen bear guy. So I think that's really just an amazing sequence. An amazing sequence to watch, and then an amazing sequence to talk about how it was made. Yeah. Except you wouldn't know how it was made because the director never, ever, ever allowed any visual effects articles to be written about this film, which, you know, we have this issue sometimes with in our industry of directors and film studios not allowing coverage and saying, you know, it was all practical and all that sort of thing. This film was nominated for the Best Visual Effects Oscar.
But isn't it a real bear? What are you talking about? I mean, we all know Leonardo DiCaprio takes it really seriously. You know, he probably trained with the bear for several weeks. You know, No, I was joking. Of course, yes, it's true. I've never seen the movie, but as a judge of the Visual Effects Society, I did see the breakdown because there was a breakdown, a private breakdown that came out on the Visual Effects Society. So people that are part of the Visual Effects Society can see that breakdown, but that breakdown never came to be. We never saw it publicly. And I'm quite surprised that you found an image.
Well, funny you ask, Hugo. There's an interesting story behind this image. In I think it was 2005 Oscar race, the Academy released a few photos on its social media page, like a collage from the 5 films that were nominated that year. And each of the films got a behind-the-scenes photo, obviously supplied by production. On Twitter, the Academy posted this collage, and I think it included Fury Road and the other films that were nominated that year. And it included this image. I took a snapshot of it because I thought, that's cool. That's the first behind-the-scenes thing we've seen from Revenant. I sent it to my friend Todd Vazeri at ILM and said, hey, that's cool. We haven't seen anything. We've been talking about how CGI has been hidden. And he said, because I just sent the link, and he goes, what do you mean? There's no behind-the-scenes photo there. In the 5 minutes that the Academy had posted it online, they changed the photo to not be a behind-the-scenes photo from the film. And it was just like a photo of Leo, not a visual effects shot. And I just feel glad that I had grabbed this image before any of that happened. But, look, I've come to sort of understand in some ways the director or filmmakers or marketing team wanting to not reveal too much about how a sequence or shot gets made. I think that's not fair sometimes to the visual effects team, especially when they're nominated for a visual effects Oscar. And of course, the Academy voters possibly saw a breakdown, and that is what it is. But anyway, it's still a spectacular sequence and is my number one.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is not fair, and in this situation that didn't happen. They never really pretended that there was no VFX. I think that no article came out and no breakdown. But there have been films where they really pretend that there's no VFX, and I think that's a conversation for another day. And if you watch our podcast, we talk about that all the time. But yeah, that's a great pick. And maybe someday I will watch the movie.
All right, let's go to your number one, Hugo.
Okay, so this is my number one. Let's just watch it, and we'll talk about it later. So this shot from The Matrix again. I know it's the second time we're putting The Matrix on the countdown, but we did the list separately. So I would have imagined that there would have been some crossover. I'm actually surprised that it didn't become more of a crossover, but I feel like this shot is really special for me personally because when I saw this for the first time, I was in university, an art university, and I went to the cinema with some of my buddies. I was in the middle of doing some films as well. And we went to the cinema, and this is the first thing you see on the movie. It's literally like 3 minutes in or something. And I had no idea what The Matrix was. I had no idea what we were going to see. And I saw this thing, and I was like, what just happened? My jaw just went to the floor. I could not believe my eyes. Of course, then the rest of the movie, it became even more and more and more unbelievable. But this first sequence, it just had a huge impact. It's the first time we see anything like this ever on a movie, on such a big movie. And it was also the first time in my life that as soon as I finished the movie, we watched it in the afternoon, I just bought another ticket and I went in again, just on the same day, on the same afternoon, because I couldn't not. I had to watch it again, and it also like it. The reason I brought it as well is because it's a huge inspirational shot. At the time, I was on art school and I was trying to dabble into filmmaking, and this brought so much inspiration to us, to our class, and to all of the people that I was doing a film together with a bunch of people. We were doing an action movie, a ninja movie, and we were so excited after seeing this that we just went the next day and filmed the rest of the film. We were just pumped by it. Not only the VFX is amazing, but it just produces a level of inspiration that I cannot explain, and I don't think it has ever happened again. I think it was just a special moment. I was very young as well. It just really had a huge mark. I'm sure it had to you as well.
Of course. And I've just watching the behind the scenes, realizing that for my bullet time shot that I love, and for this one of the very incredible things is that it's the actors doing the stunt work, right? That's Carrie-Anne Moss in the time slice Flomo rig with wire work. Now, they definitely use stunt performers for some of the stuff as well, famously. And I think what's interesting today, we might adopt some great AI,
machine learning
face replacement stuff. It feels like the actor, it feels like the character because it is Trinity, right? Which is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I just... And also, there's so many levels on this shot. There's the photogrammetry of the background, which you don't even think about because you're just looking at Trinity the whole time. And not just that, you saw, I purposely put the whole sequence there. The entire sequence is also very powerful, very well shot. The camera angles are extraordinary. The editing, the pace, the way it finishes when there's the stop shot with all the police officers on the floor. This is just a groundbreaking piece of action movies that has inspired thousands and thousands of productions afterwards. And this is 99. It's so long ago. It's 27 years ago.
Incredible. All right. We're already up to the third giveaway. Dylan, can you stand up again?
And this is the amazing...
Yes, you will receive a copy of the ILM 50th book that I wrote. Go ahead. Hey! Congratulations. And can you name your favorite VFX shot in history?
The third Planet of the Apes movie. There's the river scene with the orangutan. And yeah, that's basically my favorite.
Third Planet of the Apes movie, the river scene, when Rafka, is it, dies, unfortunately.
Oh, man, yeah.
That is a stunning sequence. I remember talking to Weta Effects about it, and then they gave me a breakdown of it. And even after I talked to them about it and watched the breakdown, I still didn't know how they did it, right?
We talked about it for like half an hour on our podcast. It was insane. That is some of the most realistic water ever made. And
the interaction with his fur.
Yeah. And it's really a heartfelt sequence as well, because we love him and we love that character.
Well, because he's on a net, like a grip net thing. The water's running through that, has to be removed. There's a motion capture actor, that needs to be removed. As you can tell, I still don't know how they did it. Thanks for that one. All right, we've now got a bit of a quick fire round where we've got some extras. Those were our top 3 that we've presented. And, I mean, there's just so many shots to choose from. So This
is an impossible task. I just wanted to... Everyone... When Ian first told me about this, he asked me, can you pick 3? And I gave him a list of 25. I could not reach a part where 3? What do you mean 3? I can't... 3? There's like 3 on the Matrix. I can't do this. So it's a really difficult task, for sure. But yeah.
Okay. So I don't think there's sound with this one, right?
No, we don't have sound on this, no.
So this is a sequence from Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and it's Davy Jones playing his organ. Many people, I'm sure, know about this sequence and this character. An incredible moment in the film performed by Bill Nighy. ILM basically invented an on-set motion capture technique and workflow. It's not just the suits, which they called IMO cap, and it was really about just lots of different things. It wasn't really motion capture. It was match moving. It was about light reference. It was about all those things, And then Bill Nye's performance is retained, I think. That's one of the most amazing things I think about this character. Everyone thinks, oh, it's Bill Nye's eyes, which it is referencing Bill Nye's eyes, but it's actually completely CG eyes. The other side of this sequence, Hugo, is, you know, the squid tentacle animation, the subsurface scattering, some incredible rendering, I believe, for this sequence. It just has that right wetness and goo, and I think what I see sometimes on social media, which I disagree with, but I see sometimes is like they'll show this sequence and they say, why can't CG be like this anymore? Which is huge, really, because it does say how good this is.
Yeah.
But this is my basically number 4.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because just from a compositing point of view as well, this is outstanding. The level, the detail that they've extracted from all the passes and getting it, because there's a lot of breakdowns and you can really know how this film was made. Because this film, when it came out, it was on a time where we had a lot of access. We knew everything about it, and articles were written, breakdowns came out, DVDs, extras were there. So it's actually quite easy to reconstruct exactly how it was done. But I also agree with you. The memes online make it like seems like Davy Jones is the best VFX shot ever made. And it is, but it's also a different time. You know, at that time, I would maybe consider that maybe VFX companies would have maybe more time, more funding, more budget. Art direction has a huge impact on this as well. It's really unfair to try to compare it with other shots, you know.
I guess so, yeah. All right, we're going to race through my other 2. This is a sequence from Back to the Future 2, and it's obviously the DeLorean landing. What? The thing that happens in this sequence, which is cool, which is you've seen a flying DeLorean, but then you see the characters come out of the car. So obviously this breaks down how that was done. Here's a plate of the car, and they use some wooden planks to give it that bump for the landing. And then they also shot a miniature car, and ILM had clearly, you know, been the masters of doing miniature motion control photography. So that is a pass of the miniature car. And what I'm sure everyone's noticed is that they have used this lamp pole, this light pole, as the transition point between the real car and the miniature car. And a bit like the water shot in Planet of the Apes, I still don't really know how ILM did that. If you watch this sequence over and over again in slow-mo, I guess you can see the difference between the car and the real car and the miniature car. But watching it in a cinema, it's seamless. Yeah. And I guess the theme of my shots today are seamless kind of shots.
Yeah. I think people need to realize how old this is, you know.
Yeah. Came out in
80 something. I can't remember the name.
89, yeah.
But so this is so old. And I know this is a very mundane thing to do these days. It would be so easy to do a shot like this these days. But it wasn't. I mean, at this time, you wouldn't even have proper roto and compositing tools or at least standards to do that. They had to invent quite a lot of things for that to happen. So, yeah, let's rush.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terminator 2. It has to be on my list. There's about 6 shots that could have made my top 6. I think the T-1000 coming out of the burning underpass and morphing back into Robert Patrick as the police officer is just stunning. Here, ILM is combining new approaches to animation, new approaches to match moving too, right? Because it's a moving shot, only slightly moving. There's some fun in the behind the scenes of Robert Patrick having to position himself in front of the fire. They used a mylar blanket so he didn't get burnt. I think he did get burnt. And, you know, just the photorealism in 1991, is it 91? Yeah, 91, is just still something that I think about all the time. Yeah. So obviously a seminal film in visual effects.
For both of us. We just did a podcast episode about the film. So, you know, We should rush.
Yeah, let's
through
keep
it.
going.
Yeah, otherwise we're not gonna have time for the final thing. So this is my pick. I think Quicksilver sequence, the slow motion sequence on X-Men: Days of the Future Past, although it's not an amazing movie itself, this sequence is just mind-blowing to this day. And I think the way it was shot, with a lot of practical footage and a lot of wire work, digital replacements, digital legs, digital arms. Some parts are real, other parts are not real. I mean, I think Rising Sun Pictures did an amazing job here. You can see some of the elements that came through to do that shot. This breakdown alone is like a masterclass on how to create an amazing, outstanding VFX shot. I find this shot fascinating.
And the design of the shot is important here. You stay with the character, right? That's, there was other ways Quicksilver has been done in some of the Marvel films, and fast characters have been done with trails and things like that. I think just staying on the character here was a big deal.
Yeah, and the whole thing, even the music pick and everything, I think this is, without a doubt, like a really outstanding shot, and that's why it's on my list. So let's just move on. So my next one. Oh, sorry. Why is that there? I'm so sorry. I, by mistake, put another slide of cats. I'm so sorry. But look at it. It's so good. Look at it.
Move on, Hugo. Move on.
Okay. My next one is Nightcrawler on the White House. Now, this sequence, we had the pleasure of interviewing Michael Fink here at FMX, actually, 2 years ago, when we did the first time we did the podcast live with Michael on stage. And what can I say? The same way I was blown away by Trinity on The Matrix, this sequence, it's just mind-blowing. The music, the sequence, the whole thing of him vanishing. Still to this day, I cannot really totally understand how it was actually made.
I can't either. And it's partly the confusion from his BAMF. It's called BAMFing. That's a really great transition thing to do the smoky, wispy stuff, the camera whips. It's very cleverly, again, designed.
Yeah, it is. And the cleanup amount of it, the entire cleanup and the clean plates they had to put in, I couldn't find the breakdown. I don't think there is a breakdown. I couldn't really find one. So it's still kind of a mystery, really. But that's my Pinocchio pick.
VFX by Cinesight for this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes, that's right. Okay, my last pick has to be, I had to put something from Stanley Kubrick on the pick. Without a doubt, 2001 is one of the most influential movies in my life. Without a doubt, Stanley Kubrick is my favorite director. And I think the work that Douglas Trumbull did here and Stanley Kubrick did, it even won the Oscar for VFX. It's in fact the only Oscar that Kubrick ever won, which is funny as well. What can I say? This sequence is from 1968. I wasn't even alive yet. I mean, it's mind-blowing how they even accomplished this with water tanks and optical effects and lights. There's no breakdown as well. I could not find the breakdown, but it's been repeated, it's been imitated by so many people. It's just mind-blowing.
What's really interesting about this is that this uses slit scan photography techniques, not new, just that Doug Trumbull found a way to do it with gels and ink and his own devised slit scan technique. Famously, I read, Hugo, that he was asked to write an article for American Cinematographer or another kind of film magazine, breaking it down, and he didn't want anyone to know how to do it, right? Because he was probably going to start a company at the time, and so there is this article you can get about how it was made, and like the images are the postage stamp type images. I talked to John Knoll from ILM about that, and he goes, I was trying to replicate it, and that fucking article from Doug Trumbull is doesn't help you at all. By the way, shout out to John Knoll. If you go to his Vimeo page, he has his own slit scan experiments and things that he's done over the years based on, being inspired by this sequence. But
This is a great challenge as well. There's a bunch of YouTubers that are trying, they've tried to do this. Some have failed, some succeeded, kind of, but all of them kind of making it up because they don't really truly know how it was made. So it is funny in that sense, you know. Anyway.
all right, we're coming to the vote soon.
Well, yeah, before
but we
that.
thought we'd just, because there were 2 Matrix shots in there, we thought we'd do a live vote.
Yeah.
Hugo, what are we going to do? Oh, okay, we're going to include the rooftop one as well. Okay, so let's do this quickly. If you think the subway fight is the best bullet time shot ever, clap your hands now.
Oh, that was weak.
Do you think it's the Trinity shot that's the best bullet time? All right, is the rooftop bullet time the best sequence?
Oh my God. Okay. We were so wrong then.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay, so now you get to vote. We presented our picks, but now you get to vote which one it was. So you have a choice there. Please let me know if it's not working. I hope it is working, because if it doesn't
It
work,
should open a Google form.
Yes, and then you can pick.
Don't need to log in.
Does it
Great.
open? Okay. And you can vote? Excellent. Look, I did something good then.
Yeah. Okay, while you're voting, we actually have our secret number 1 that we're about to show.
Yeah, exactly.
It
But
better not be
we'll-
cats again, Hugo.
Of course it's cats, no. We also have the QR code there if you still need it. But that's our this is our secret shot. Yes. We all know that in reality, that's the shot, right? I mean, it is that shot. It's just, I love the little wink that Rock does at the end, like the smile wink at the end. What is up with that? Like, it's like, is he posing for a photo shoot or something?
Yeah. It's actually a pretty fun reveal of a character.
Yeah.
Like in history, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, the shot before is like a shadowy, because you see their faces, then you see just in that shot, it was better. They should have kept it in shadow.
We love the Scorpion King. All right. Do we think we've got results already, Hugo?
We probably do. So
Pull up the...
I'm gonna put up the everyone has voted already?
Okay, here we go.
You can put another screen if you want on the because I'm just gonna put.
Okay, this is live.
Yes.
Live and.
So I got 48 responses. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so. Just like I'll put it on the screen. Don't put the screen yet, okay? I'm just gonna move it to that side, and hopefully this works. Okay.
Okay.
So can you reveal now? Okay. So the winner. Oh, this is hard to see which the winner is.
Which screen is it?
Oh, it's the subway of the Matrix. 25% of the vote. Look at that.
No, I think it's Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates.
No, that's dark green. No, wait a minute. You know, you're right.
Who designed this pie chart?
You're right. Can you put it on the screen again? Can you put it on the screen? You're right. This is dark. Yeah, it is Pirates then.
Yeah,
it is.
let's have a round of applause for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Is there anyone from Google here? They probably designed it.
All right. Well, look, that was so fun for us. Thank you so much for being here. I think we've got a bit of time if there's any questions or any other shots that people.
Oh, there's a hand already. I'll go.
I'll go. And Hugo, they get a magazine from the closest pile.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
So, it's from a music video. It's Don't Stop Till You Get It Enough from Michael Jackson from 1979, masking him out in his dancing moves.
Yes.
That's 48 years old, and I'm still amazed how they did it.
Yes, I have no idea, but I love that.
There's no one talking about it.
Yeah.
Michael is dead, and the others of the creators no one ever talked about it. Like his dance moves being so smooth, and the background I'm speechless with that.
Okay, so thank you so much for bringing that up. I'm now going to try and publish a story on Befores and Afters.
Do that.
About that.
Do
Thank
that,
you.
please.
Thanks for the content.
Thank you.
Yeah, from the one closest to me. Give him any copy. Yep. All right. Has anyone got another question?
So
next
I
door?
missed the beginning, so I'm sorry. I missed the beginning, I'm sorry. But I didn't see anything about Chappie. And I think it is one of the best integration ever of a robot into a scene. I mean, you remember Chappie, the robot?
I 100% agree. Neil, just and Image Engine was responsible for that work. And they had something, they still do, Image Engine, but with CG robots and that kind of stuff that is unmatched, I think. And Chappie, I also love the actor who I can't remember his name right at the moment, how he performed Chappie, I think was
that movie is so
spectacular.
good, but it's so underrated. It's such a good movie. I really like that movie. Chappie,
Agree.
I mean.
Yeah. Great suggestion. Thank you. Have we got
else?
someone else?
Okay.
So thank you. I think every old VFX shot is always really impressive, but I really like the shot from the Robbie Williams film with the ape, like the shot on the street where he's singing and just going in and out and through other stuffs. They did like the breakdown last year here at the FMX, and that was amazing how they accomplished that.
That's Better Man, and by Weta Effects, of course. And I loved that film too, and didn't get enough love, that film, I thought. But yeah, great suggestion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have a great episode on our podcast about that film. You can watch it on the podcast.
Andy.
I love the scene from Jason and the Argonauts with all the skeletons. Because
I love that.
I mean, still, it blows my mind. And being an animator myself, I have no idea. This guy is a genius.
I have
Ray
no idea
Harryhausen.
how Harryhausen lined up the live action, the stop motion to the live action. You know, I just don't know how he did it.
I think he rehearsed with stuntmen. Yeah. He recorded that and had that sort of as a guideline, but he didn't do a roto or anything like that. It was just a guidelines for the timing. But that was it, because of course the shot with the stuntman could not be used. There was no such thing as digital removal or anything like that.
Absolutely. And Andy, I've been writing about this stuff for a long time, and Harryhausen famously had this process, dynamation.
Exactly.
But you will never find out for Jason and the Argonauts whether that dynamation technique was what he used for that sequence. It's not. I feel like he was either keeping it secret or people haven't written about it properly. So we might have to get together and you can tell me what you think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Last question. Oh, last two.
Yeah, first of all, thanks a million for this really fun talk. Here's one, Star Wars: A New Hope, when Luke finally dropped the bomb.
Dropped the what?
The bomb. When he blew up the Death Star.
Oh, yes. That's beautiful, of course.
It's one of the oldest, I guess, right?
Yeah. I guess it's a combination of miniatures and great effects animation. We don't really talk about ILM's effects animation as much as sometimes we talk about their miniatures work at the time and their optical compositing. But even the torpedoes, is a beautiful sequence. And the explosion itself was brilliant.
Where was the other question? Sorry.
Just right at the front. And then I've got one final thing, and then you can all go to lunch.
The black hole from Interstellar. I remember watching it and just, it's so trippy. And I remember not understanding what was going on there and what I was seeing there. And just this story about it that they, just punch in some physics equations, and then that happened. And they also, first had to process what was going on there. No.
Yeah, absolutely. An interesting story about that is that, yes, Dean Egg, Paul Franklin was the visual effects supervisor. He collaborated with a physicist, and I'm forgetting his name.
Trip something, I can't remember.
I can't remember. And yes, it punched into whatever Dean Egg's toolset was being used at the time for the wormhole and the black hole. A couple of years later, they got some interstellar type photography of a black hole, and it looked exactly the same.
That's what I can say.
And Paul told me that every single magazine and astrology website used Interstellar's but like not the final frame, but like stuff that DNEG had produced as like tests and things from, because they released a bunch of papers about that work, and they would label it like NASA, but it was DNEG. Okay, here's an exclusive quick announcement. I have actually written a new book, which is a collection of 50 of my favorite best visual effects shots in history, and that's coming out in just a couple of months. And it's just volume 1. So there's only 50 in that book, but there'll be another 50 and another 50. And frankly, some of the suggestions you've made today are ones that I'll be adding to those forthcoming books. So
congratulations, my friend. That's great. That's great
Thanks,
news.
Hugo.
We can't wait to see it and buy it.
And you've got a quick announcement about an upcoming video as well.
Yes, I do. I am currently making a video featuring a Silicon Graphico 2, and I'm basically running illusion on it. And I'm basically compositing a shot in illusion, which has been a bit painful. But yeah, that video is coming out in a few weeks, which I go through the entire thing on the Silicon Graphico 2. And I basically talk about the history of the machine, and I show a bit of capture of video with Premiere 4, and Avid Media Composer as well, and also Softimage. Yeah, it's going to be a great video, and it's almost done. And as soon as I get back to London, I'm going to finish the video. Yeah.
Awesome. Can't wait. Well, firstly, thank you to Dylan for helping us today.
Thanks.
Thank you
Dylan.
to everybody. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate it. Bye.
Thank you.